Welcome, esteemed members of the Academy, to Geek Salad's Retro Movie Reviews from the Geek Salad Podcast. I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
And today we are going to take a look, as it is now Oscar season. It's now upon us. And we're going to take a look back at two films we felt got the recognition of being nominated, but not actually winning the top award. Last year we had done a couple of things where we had looked at a year where the wrong movie win, but should have won. This is a little different. So the qualifier actually is you had to have been nominated.
Yeah.
So, that's this to our predictions. We've got some guests lined up for that, which will be kind of cool. Mike, why don't you kick us off? What's the movie? What year? And what did it lose to?
Well, the year is 1990.
We're going with film year here. Year of release, not year of the Oscars. So it was the Oscars in 1990. What, 89? Okay.
Yes. The year is 1989. The movie that won is Driving Miss Daisy.
Okay.
And the movie I feel should have won is Field of Dreams.
Okay. Explain.
It's just, Driving Miss Daisy, it's fine. You know, it introduced the world to Morgan Freeman, and I adore it for that because I love Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman. But
didn't exist until Morgan Freeman narrated them into existence.
Seriously, look up true facts about Morgan Freeman on YouTube. It is hilarious.
Morgan Freeman has never had sex. He just simply smiles, and a baby is born in a field of kittens.
But other than that, look at this crotchety old white woman who befriends a black man, and the black man is basically looked down on by every other white character in the movie.
Yeah, it definitely suffers from the dreaded yet oft used trope of the magical Negro.
Yeah.
Hoke is just that. He's filled with pearls of wisdom, and he's gonna right this racist old lady's wronged mind.
And he does. Yay.
Now, did you?
What was that?
It was based on a stage play.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. And it's the typical Oscar bait, especially at that time.
And Dan Aykroyd looked like he ate another Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah. By the way, that is the only time that he has ever been nominated for an Oscar. Which makes sense because honestly, out of all the Ghostbusters, probably my least favorite.
He's the least remarkable. Yeah. I mean, hell, even Ernie Hudson had some nice moments and had a few more moments than he did.
Okay.
Although Ray did get a blowjob from a ghost, so
that's true. He did do that, so he's able to cross his eyes really well.
Yeah, good for him. But whereas Field of Dreams, you could come up. Oh, it's just a baseball movie, and I would disagree with that. It is as much a baseball movie as like Zootopia is a movie about animals solving crime. Yeah, that's the framework in which this movie takes place, but it's actually about something much deeper and much more personal and much more relatable. And that is about the kind of redemption of Shoeless Joe Jackson, redemption of Terrence Mann, which is James Earl Jones' characters, redemption of Ray Kinsella, the main character, and his relationship with his father. And I mean, I can't stress enough how many times I've seen this movie, and every single damn time it gets to the end, Dad, you want to have a catch? Every time, right?
Yep. I'll talk so you can collect yourself. We discussed this one over the summer when we discussed the movies of 1989.
Yeah.
And as a baseball movie, it's a Ken Burns documentary. I can definitely understand, especially I know a lot of people, and this is the movie that it's hard for them to watch. They watch it because it brings back memories of their dads. But it's one of those things though. It's one of those movies that should be watched father and son, no matter how old or how young you are, and then let that be that bond, because baseball is kind of universal. I mean, it's kind of like my sport of choice. I love baseball, but he's been very, very good to me. But yeah, I can understand. It definitely pulls the heartstrings. Do you want to know what else was nominated that year?
Can
you name them off the top of your head?
Well, I know, Born on the 4th of July was nominated.
Yep. And Oliver Stone actually won Best Director that year. So it was one of those.
I'm blanking. I know what else. I just can't think of it right at the moment.
I know them off the top of my head. Just let me look down for a second. The other two nominees were Dead Poets Society.
Oh yeah.
Which is one of those movies that is aged so poorly.
I mean, I will give it. It is one of Robert Williams' first real dramatic roles.
Yeah, but that was his second nomination. He had been nominated 2 years before for Good Morning Vietnam.
Oh, okay. And so The Fisher King was after this?
Yes.
Okay.
And Fisher King is one of Robin Williams' best performances. Like
that and Good Will Hunting.
Absolute favorite. That was 91.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that was another good one of his.
Yeah. And then the other movie that was nominated, because this is back when they used to have 5 nominees, My Left Foot, which did win Best Actor for Daniel Day-Lewis. It's his first of 3.
Genuinely, I don't even remember the movie.
You know what? It would become known as like the Disease of the Week type of movies.
Oh, okay.
Because the character he played, Christy Brown, who's a real person, suffered from a type of palsy that only allowed him use of his left foot, and he trained it to write and to do artwork and stuff like that. Brett won Best for that too. Interesting. I think out of all the 5 nominees, Field of Dreams the only one that got shut out of any Oscars,
which is a shame. Because I mean, just kind of going to show you how good this movie is, though, is that it's still talked about a lot today. It's still like a staple of a lot of people, and none of the other nominees are really that. And I'm not even the biggest baseball fan. I root for the Red Sox because I'm from Massachusetts. It's kind of required,
right?
But
right,
I don't watch baseball. I think it's a pretty boring sport, to be honest. I'm sorry. But that being said, I still love this movie because it is about much more than just baseball. It's about, redemption. It's about connections. It's about kind of finding your past and finding your future with it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm pulling up something. If you hey. One second. One second.
I love. I mean, it was Burt Lancaster's last movie role, I believe.
Yes, it was.
Yes, as Moonlight Graham, and he was brilliant in that role. Who played young Moonlight Graham?
It wasn't Ray Liotta, was it? I think he was Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Yeah, and Ray Liotta was Shoeless Joe Jackson. Moonlight Graham was played by Frank Whaley.
Oh, okay. Frank Whaley.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Frank Whaley also in 8 Man Out, which came out the year before? It was about the Chicago Black Sox.
Oddly enough, he was in Born on the 4th of July.
Yeah, that's right, he was. And then he would appear in The Doors, which is the first thing I remember him from.
Yeah, no, he was not in Eight Man Out. No,
Oh, okay.
he was in JFK.
Right, he
Yeah,
was
he's
right.
been
I
around
forgot
for a
about
while.
that. No, he's definitely been around
Yeah.
for quite a while.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I definitely think Field of Dreams should have won that one. Even if it won nothing else, it just it's a movie that I still adore, and
Right.
I think it's one of the greatest baseball movies of all time.
Okay. All right. So on my list, we're forward and far enough back. The year was 1997, and one film pretty much dominated the Oscars the entire evening. That movie is not the movie that I feel should have won Best Picture. I feel that LA Confidential was the best film of 1997. Thrilled that it was at least nominated for Best Picture. It took home 2 Oscars, Best Supporting Actress for Kim Basinger and Best Adapted Screenplay from the James Ellroy novel.
What won instead of that one?
What's that?
What won instead of that one?
All right. So it was the year of Titanic.
Oh, boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
The Juggernaut. Which God damn, I hate that movie. I truly I hate it so much that a year and a half or 2 years into our relationship, my wife rolled over and looked at me and says, I have a confession. I really like Titanic.
Fortunately, it wasn't a deal breaker.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, no, I'm made of stronger stuff than that, but I truly hate this movie.
Yeah.
I am quite honestly not a huge fan of James Cameron. In fact, I am not a fan of James Cameron.
I'm a fan of early James Cameron.
I am a fan of the pretty much just Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and I'd be totally happy.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a time.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. I mean, there was a time when I enjoyed True Lies, but you go back and watch that movie now, it is so problematic.
It is, but there's still a lot of fun to be had. It's
you know what the funny thing is? I don't even feel like it's any fun to watch anymore, though. It's just like
I think
they let Tom Arnold do all the jokes, and Tom Arnold's jokes are all really misogynist.
Yeah, I know, but I think the movie is told with enough tongue in cheek to make it a little fun still.
But you know, again, I think that after Terminator 2, you could have retired. You know, it's a lot of it has to do with the writing of LA Confidential. Now, if anybody who's watching this has ever read the novel or any of James Ellroy's novels, they're next to impossible to adapt because it's a lot of quick little one-word pieces of dialogue in a lot of cases. It is very, very hard-boiled writing, but it makes it very difficult to kind of adapt to an actual teleplay. But what Curtis Hanson and Brian Helgeland did with this script is they took the throughput of the book and made that the movie. This is the movie that most American audiences would be introduced to Russell Crowe and Guy Pearce.
Kim Basinger, she'd already done Batman Forever, right?
I'm sorry, who did Batman Forever?
Kim Basinger.
Kim Basinger had already done Batman. She was a star on decline too. And this kind of lofted her up for a little bit of time, and then she went back into decline. Yeah.
Yeah, I got her mixed up with I can't remember who was in Batman Forever. I don't care.
Oh, you're thinking Nicole Kidman.
That's
Yeah, no, she wouldn't win her Oscar until for The Hours. God, I know too much. I mean, the biggest star the two biggest stars in this movie were Kevin Spacey and James Cromwell. And
one of which is still thought of very highly.
Exactly. And it was the guy who was first known for talking to a pig. It's the movie is everything that you want to see in a novel with the way that James Elroy writes dialogue. Curtis Hanson's direction just brings you back to the early 1950s LA. I mean, his ability to transport you back to that time is magnificent. The characters, I mean, it's really hard to cast Danny DeVito in anything and not just see Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
And this is one of those movies. You still see Danny DeVito.
Yeah, Danny DeVito.
Sid Hudgens is just an awful person, but he's not the worst person in this movie. I mean, even David Strathairn, who is a pimp in this movie, is not the worst person in this movie.
Well, hey, pimping ain't easy.
Nope. Oh my God. But this movie is it's of the era of that mid 1990s that kind of started with the Tarantino revolution of Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. The Usual Suspects kind of, they managed to distill it down. Yeah. And then LA Confidential is your next logical conclusion.
Yeah.
And it is an amazing movie. I would venture to say in my top 10, if not my top 15 movies. I told Thomas from Movies After Work that I would actually put together a letterbox list of all my favorite movies and try to boil that down to 100, because he just did that. And
wait, your 100 favorite movies?
You gotta listen to the podcast. You did it in 4 episodes, and it is some impressive work. And a lot of times when I'm driving in the car, listening and going, yes, absolutely.
And how many times did you go, not really?
No, there weren't many. There actually were not that many. I think Tom and I are kin to a lot of different ways of how we view movies, especially, dare I say, more important movies versus just like standard, the standard blockbuster formula that, back here I love. And I absolutely this is one of those movies I just love, and it actually has the trifecta. I bought it on VHS, I bought it on DVD, I bought it on Blu-ray. So
I think I know I've seen this movie, but I think actually the first and only time I've seen this movie is in theaters. I believe I saw it with my father when it came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was not able to see this in theaters for a number of reasons.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I do remember seeing this one in theaters. I don't know why I wanted to see it so badly, but I think the trailers just caught me. But I did see it, and I enjoyed it a lot. But that was like the only time I've ever seen it, so it's been a while.
I own it on Blu-ray. I could look. I could get you. Oh, so that way, actually, it's a Grand Slam. I have it on digital as well.
Oh, there you go.
So here are the other movies that were nominated that year. Again, this was a 5-fer. So we already went over the winner, Titanic. As Good as It Gets, Good Will Hunting, and The Full Monty.
Honestly, I would have taken any of those movies over Titanic.
Honestly, the weird thing is that out of the non-LA Confidential movies, I think the one I like the most after that is actually The Full Monty.
I've never seen The Full Monty. For me, it'd probably be Good Will Hunting.
I saw Good Will Hunting when it came out, and I saw it once again on video, and I haven't seen it since. It definitely is a revelation of how good Damon and Affleck were as writers, and something that they don't do anymore.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Directing, but he's not writing. And Damon is just stuck. Is just going to stay.
Damon.
I think he's doing a great job with a lot of the stuff that he's in. And this is the one that actually, speaking of Robin Williams, this is the one he won his Oscar for.
Yeah.
So,
I would love to see Affleck get back into writing, because now he just relies on Chris Terrio for everything. Don't get me wrong. Chris Terrio is a great writer, but I would like to see Affleck try to do something.
Chris Terrio wrote one of the best picture winners of the last 10 years in Argo. Yeah. There are I have some issue with some of the other things he's written.
Oh yeah.
Star Wars is just the stew. That's a soup.
Yeah.
What's interesting is outside. This was one of the few years where all 5 nominees won something. Full Monty won for score for comedy back when they used to split those up, and Good Will Hunting won the top 2 acting Oscars for actor and actress.
I thought Good Will Hunting also won best screenplay.
It did. It won best original screenplay. Yeah. L.A. Confidential won best
adapted
screenplay and everything else. Titanic was also okay. Here's a little piece of trivia for you. Titanic was also the first movie to win Best Picture that had not been nominated for a screenplay award since Sound of Music.
Cameron didn't win for Best Director, did he?
He did. Oh my! That was the King of the World speech. That annoying thing that even the Pope was just like,
yeah. He's not the King of the World. He's not even. Well, there's a reason why he's never won a Best Writing Oscar.
Because he's not a good writer.
No, he's not.
And it was just very. He's just one of those people I can't imagine, sitting and having a conversation with.
You'd be like,
what other questions you have about me? And
yeah.
Actually, the show Future
Cameron
Man
seems like he's very much. How can you praise Cameron?
Yeah, exactly.
He's no longer James Cameron. He's the Cameron.
Right. And it's actually interesting. Future Man, which is the show on Hulu, had this episode where they went into the future and ended up in James Cameron's smart house. The voice assistant that ran the whole house was named Sigourney. And she would just constantly make comments and written character, and how he would not accept any criticism for anything. Because famously wrote an article to the LA Times, just like demanding a retraction of the bad Titanic review from Kenneth Turan, because how dare you not like this movie? 97 was a fun year.
So how long before he comes down on this video like a ton of bricks?
Who knows? I mean, this is why we ask you to keep your comments civil. You might be a big fan of James Cameron. Good on you. I just can't.
Yeah, the last movie of his that I genuinely remember enjoying, depending on which one came out first, is either The Abyss or Terminator 2.
It was Terminator 2 came out
Okay. So it was Terminator 2.
The Abyss was his bomb, and then he went on to do T2.
I did enjoy The Abyss for what it was. It's a boring movie, but
I've never been a fan, but that has a lot to do with a lot of other things other than his inability to write a screenplay. Hi, Kat. You want to weigh in on this?
What's wrong? There you go. Yeah.
No, I can't. I just can't. And for God's sakes. I know. You want to see what I eat? It's coming out this side now. Yeah, no, I just can't. And nope. You got him. Yeah.
He somehow muted my mic.
Oh, good Lord. So I think we should wrap this up so Mike's cat can continue rubbing his ass in your face.
He actually did it quickly this time. He's done it for a lot longer before.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, jeepers.
I don't care, kitty. I don't care.
Oh my God, that cat. All right. So, well, that was our take on what should have won the best picture in 1989 and 1997. Do you have an opinion? What movie have won and think that went to the right film? Leave a civilized comment below, please. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and hit subscribe if you haven't already to be notified for any subsequent videos. Mike and I host a little podcast called Geek Salad. We are available at geeksalad.podbean.com. You can also check us out on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Music, and still waiting on iHeartRadio, right?
Yeah, I have no idea how long it takes for them to do this.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Check us out on this. You can also follow us on Twitter at Geek Salad Radio and on Facebook at Geek Salad Podcast. If you're watching this thing live or you're watching it before Wednesday the 29th, feel free to vote. Send us a direct message on Twitter at Geek Salad Radio, and let us know what are your 10 favorite animated films to come out of the past decade, 2010 to 2019. We are doing, we're going to be counting them down to count down the top 20 animated features. It's going to be a pot boiler.
Yeah, I'm surprised by number one, but I'm not insulted by number one. I agree, actually, to a certain extent.
Okay, all right, we'll talk about that offline. But anyway, until next time, I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
Go forth and be nerdful. We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye. And this is Ninja.
Hi, Ninja. Bye, Ninja.